The season of creation is a time to renew our relationship with our Creator and all creation through celebration, conversion, and commitment together. This year's theme, Let Justice and Peace Flow, calls us to take action and care for our planet. As Pope Francis says, all of us can cooperate as instruments of God for the care of creation, each according to his or her own culture, experience, involvements, and talents. One example of the need for this cooperation is the destruction of the oto plant, a naturally growing food staple, as a result of increased rainfall and flooding since the early 90s. Our school conducted 2 experiments to help combat environmental problems in Pacific Island nations, specifically Fiji. Our experiments focused on creating eco-friendly cement and recyclable paper and pencils using waste material. Through these experiments, we hope to inspire others to take action and care for our planet, just as the season of creation calls us to do. Join us in celebrating the season of creation and let justice and peace flow for all of creation.
First, plastic waste was collected. Plastic waste was then cut up and shred. The shredded plastic was placed in a mortar and sand was mixed in for efficient and thorough grinding. Next, washed away seashells as well as dead corals were collected at the beach. These seashells and dead corals were heated so that calcium oxide could be obtained from their calcium carbonate skeletons. The seashells were heated at a high temperature in order to break all ionic bonds. The heated seashells were placed in a mortar and pounded with water to obtain a calcium hydroxide mixture. This is the cement mixture. All the materials were aligned: shredded plastic, grounded seashells, about 10 milliliters of water, a container to mold, a drill bit for the strength test, and a beaker for mixing. The shredded plastic was used as a binding agent and it's an alternative for sand. Then, water was added to assist in mixing. The contents were placed in the container. The drill bit was placed to test the strength of the mixture. The mixture was then allowed to dry in the mold. Water was then added to create a cement paste. The paste was then used to construct the base for the school's digital weather station. During the drying process, the cement absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. First, the waste papers were torn into small pieces and placed in a beaker. Some water was added to the beaker to moisten the paper. It was then mixed using a rod and set for a while. The waste paper, mixed with water, eventually turned into a paste, which was then diluted into a large basin. Then, a mold and decal was used to let the paste set onto it. As the paste was collected on the decal, it was transferred onto a piece of cloth by pressing it using another cloth, with caution. This was done to allow most moisture to be absorbed. Then the decal was carefully lifted to allow the recycled paper to set on the cloth, and the paper was allowed to dry. Following this, the eco-friendly glue was prepared. In a beaker, 3 spatulas of normal flour was mixed with adequate amount of tap water. More flour was added till the required consistency was attained. Next, the dried stems of the plant was collected to use as twigs in the pencil. It was then broken into pieces and heated on a heating mantle till black color was obtained and set aside. The recycled paper was cut into strips and wrapped around the heated twigs using the green glue. After the pencil was assembled, radish seeds were added to the top before finally closing it using glue and paper. The pencil is now completed. As shown, it can be sharpened like a normal pencil, and it writes just as any other pencil would on the recycled paper made earlier. The pencil made is biodegradable as shown. It was planted into a pot of soil, and the seeds germinated over the course of 3 days as the new seedlings sprouted.
As shown in the video, in order to restore peace between Earth and humans, Xavier College students took the initiative of using the waste products such as plastic, to minimize waste disposal in the environment. The students are working hand in hand to maintain justice and peace amongst the nature and us. All in all, the eco-friendly cement, sustainable pencil, and reusing of plastics restore peace and maintain sustainability in the environment.